The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restored I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea, though I Rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepared a table before Ryan in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head to no oil, me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I havent. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah Kadamawe Gromabea Taylor where 2 and 3 meet in the name of the Most High Jah are there so Jah there. If Jah never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jah never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks. And I give thanks. And I give thanks. Oh, Mawusogbo Lisa, I don't know what talk. It was simply for. How Mawusogbo Lisa, akpe kaka. How Mawusogbo Lisa. This is the Black Pot, aka Koku, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different shapes, sizes, colors, aromas, and even flavors. Abandon all their differences, relegating all these into the background and relocating into the black pot, where they are subjected to some good amount of heating. They produce food, sumptuous food, in all its palatability. Ironically, they do not even partake in the eating of the food. It is us, the eaters, who do, you and I. Yet every time, the black pot and the ingredients will sacrifice and rise to the occasion when we need food. What does this teach us? It's a lesson of selflessness. It's a lesson of generational thinking. How many of us are ready? Though we have the power to eat it all, we eat and reserve some for those who are on the way yet to arrive. How many of us are ready to think generationally? How many of us say to ourselves, oh, we have it all, let's use it all. After all, tomorrow will take care of itself. How many people, rich as they are, believe that anybody who is poor is lazy, and that is only by hard work that somebody can be very, very rich? My brother, my sister, much as we believe in hard work, we also believe that circumstances sometimes make people who work very hard to stay poor. This is the Black Pot, aka Koku, where we speak truth to power. This is the voice of the people. And today we are starting more than an hour late. It was due to circumstances beyond our control. We want to apologize, and at the same time, I want to say welcome to the greatest show. Please spread the word. Hit on the notification button so anytime we come on, you would be notified to watch us. And at the same time, please subscribe to our channel. That is the channel of power. This is where we all can come together and help build our nation. My brother, my sister. Now today we have 6 very important things to look at. And I need you to come along. But remember, we are live on YouTube, and our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media. Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. And of course, we are also live on Facebook, and our Facebook page is Black Empire Media, same way. We are supported by ISIT, and ISIT is ISIT, in spirit, in truth. It is the newest social media app everybody is talking about, my brother, my sister. And the good thing about ISIT is this: it has no negativity. Yes, once you get on there, everything is wonderfully good. What are we talking about? We're talking about something very important. Now, if your social media platform is nothing but negative, full of nudity and violence, then you must jump ships and join us on EZIT. With EZIT, what can you do? You can make video calls, audio calls, and even text. You can also go live. That is what we're talking about. This is EZIT. And how can you be on EZIT? It's so simple. You can just download the app on Google Play and App Store and connect with family and friends. Everything is perfect right there on EZIT. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Koku, where we speak truth to power. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is rolling on your screens, and I need you to check it out. First story, my brother, my sister, and watch it. I am passionate, not bitter. And this is Koku Anyidoho to Blakk Rasta. Now, remember that we spoke about Koku Anyidoho. This is the man, a stalwart of the biggest opposition party, the NDC. In fact, he's worked very hard for his party. He's done so much for his party. I see a lot of passion in Koku Anyidoho. I don't remember ever meeting him. But he said that he remembered that we met once when Barack Obama came to Ghana and I was invited. At the time, John Evans Atta Mills was the president of the republic, and his vice president was John Dramani Mahama. I got the opportunity to meet with this wonderful president, and it was all beautiful. In fact, the whole world saw what happened at the meeting. It was so, so beautiful. Well, we spoke about Koku Anyidoho. He and his party are at loggerheads. In fact, he's been talking about Mahama and saying so many things against Mahama. Mahama has not responded. But I felt that it was a family issue which they could sit at table and discuss. So I gave out an opinion, and in that opinion, I made it clear that this is a man that the NDC must never lose. This is a very passionate man, but as it stands right now, he is very bitter. Why is he bitter? Some things might have happened in the past, and it is just time to put away ego and invite a younger brother or an elder brother. Come over, let's meet and talk. We aired here, we aired there, we aired there. It's not too important right now. Can we forge ahead, come together again stronger than necessary, and move on? After all, we share the same mantra. This was the information I put out. Well, this is a show everybody watches. This is a show presidents watch. This is a show my brother, my sister, politicians watch. And of course, the grassroots people. He saw it within hours, and bam, he sent a response. This is the response. Samuel Koku Anyidoho. And he says, Blakk Rasta, enough respect, man. I really appreciate your kind words of compliment. The only time I saw you at close range was when President Obama visited Ghana and invited you to the castle. Bro, you see something in my eyes. It is passion, not bitterness. JM has destroyed NDC. It hurts. This is Koku Anyidoho sending a personal message to me on X, Twitter. And watch it properly. He said, respect, enough respect, Blakk Rasta. I really appreciate your kind words of compliment. The only time I saw you at close range was when President Obama visited Ghana and invited you to the castle. Bro, you see something in my eyes. It is passion, not bitterness. I agree. Many people might see Koku Anyidoho as a turncoat, a traitor, because he stood against his party, even though he's still a member of the party. But if you read deeper, brothers can fight, sisters can fight. It's not about who is right and who is not right. It's about who is ready to push away the pain so that another person can be pacified. He thinks JM has destroyed the NDC. It is time for JM to play the bigger brother. I know you watch this show. You love the show. Please, invite Koku over. Koku is going to come. Sit him down. When he comes, start by cracking a joke and telling him, hey, you, why have you been worrying me like that? I'm your big brother. Respect me. That's it. The next thing Koku is going to say is, oh, I haven't been home for long. Is there Tuozafi there? That's it. Over Tuozafi, everything will be over. I'm telling you this. Because Koku, I have never met him or had a conversation with him. There was only one time I called him on phone, asking for an interview when I was with Hits FM. What was the interview about? He had prophesied that Kennedy Ejapong would be like that fly, that recalcitrant fly, house fly, who would follow the corpse into the grave. Do you all remember that? And it came to pass. Kennedy Ejapong was in some big trouble. I do not remember what the problem was or what the trouble was, but it was a huge issue people were talking about. And many people remembered that, oh, this man said this and that it was going to happen. And it came to pass. So I called him and asked him for an interview, but he turned it down and told me something that I will never forget. You know what he told me? I'm really not ready to grant an interview like this. A brother is in trouble, and I think that we should rather concentrate on how we can get him out of trouble, rather than jubilating that my prophecy has come to pass. From that day, anytime I saw Koku Anyidoho in his elements, either angry or mad, whatever it was, I watched my words very carefully. I do not believe that this man cannot be tamed. And when I use the word tame, I am using it in a very positive sense. I think that he has something to offer his party. And I believe that together we stand. Don't ever disregard him and say that, oh, how many people can he even convince to either vote for or not for the party? There are so many admirers and there are so many haters for every individual. We do not know at what point the numbers can turn. It's not even all about numbers. Sometimes it's about the spirit. Sometimes one man will join your ranks and the spirit that follows that person, don't ever underestimate that. It's like one man followed by angels. He's better than a million people standing there. I'm speaking in parables. So long and short of it all. Koku, thanks so much for the nice compliments. We appreciate you and we love you. But of course, the biggest jubilation is going to be when this dirty party in power gets out of the place. I don't like this party and I don't pretend. They have destroyed the nation. We supported them the same way we came out against them. We gave them the same energy when they were coming on. We told them that we're waiting for them to deliver. They have failed us. Today they want BAWUMIA to come and continue the nauseating thing that Nana Akufo-Addo did and is still doing. We shan't allow that. For me, my brother, my sister, it is time to say no to this canker. It is time to say we are fed up. It's time to say enough is enough. So, over to you, John Dramani Mahama. I know you listen to me a lot. It doesn't take anything from you. It doesn't set any precedents. It only sets the record straight and makes you the bigger man. You are the leader of the party. One of your sons has become prodigal, in quote. Accept him home. Talk to him. Let him tell you that he doesn't want the inheritance anymore because he's taking it already. And then you tell him that you have ordered for the fattest cow to be slaughtered for him to enjoy, and that you are happy he has returned home, and see the energy that this man is going to carry around. Do we all remember when Koku Anyidoho said that we were in a commanding lead? In his own words, he said we were in what? Full control or something like that. It was all passion. A man like that, please do not lose him. It's just a little confusion. Bring him home, talk to him, and everything is everything. We stand for peace. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Koku Show no more.
And here, we speak truth to power. All right, so next story. Now the next story we are looking at, my brother, my sister, is rolling on the screens, all right? And it says, tax on sanitary pads senseless. And this is DZIFA GOMASHIE. Come here. And what is DZIFA GOMASHIE saying?
Tax on sanitary pads senseless. Who is DZIFA GOMASHIE? Please pay attention. Who is DZIFA GOMASHIE? DZIFA GOMASHIE is an MP. And this MP represents some section of the Volta region. When the floods came down, she was very active and she talked a lot against the carelessness that led into the flood of the Volta region a couple of weeks back. Today she has turned her attention on sanitary pads, and she says it's senseless to tax sanitary pads. The budget was read today in Parliament, and many people are divided along the lines of the presentation and the content of the presentation. DZIFA GOMASHIE has spoken. Run the story. 2024 budgets, it doesn't make sense to tax sanitary pads. And this is DZIFA GOMASHIE talking. Run the story, my youth. It says, Member of Parliament for K2 South, DZIFA GOMASHIE, has said she is against tax on sanitary pads. To her, a tax on sanitary pads does not make sense. It does not make sense to tax sanitary pads. It is not our choice that we bleed. It is part of our making as women, she told TV3 ahead of the 2024 budget presentation by the finance minister. For his part, the Director of Communications of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Richard Anyagba, said that he expects that the 2024 budget will do more to sustain the evolving stabilization of the economy and restore growth through increased investment in agriculture, industry, and tourism. That's it. Now, sanitary pads are necessities. At the end of a 30-day period, women need sanitary pads. The same way a man is thirsty and he needs water. Remember, the word there is need, not want. It's not a luxurious product. It's not a BMW. It's not a private jet. A sanitary pad is a necessity. A lot of young girls refuse to go to school when is that time of the month because they do not have sanitary pads and they do not want to embarrass themselves. A lot of young girls have fallen victim to dirty men who impregnate them after promising them they will buy them sanitary pads. After buying sanitary pads for them once, twice, thrice, they take advantage of them and impregnate them. In our country, we have seen a lot of young girls who have stopped school, all because they cannot afford sanitary pads. And for that matter, they prefer to stay at home and deal with it. In some communities, what the young menstruating girls use is so nauseating that we don't even want to mention them on TV. My brother, my sister, a nation that turns necessities into luxuries is a useless nation. I am saying, a nation that treats necessities like luxuries is a useless nation. Write it down. I said, a nation that treats necessities as if they were luxuries is a useless nation. My brother, my sister, what are necessities? Water is a necessity. Shelter is a necessity. At the same time, sanitary pads are necessities. If there's anything to tax at all, you can tax the condoms. That's not a necessity. You can decide to have sex or not. There are so many ways of preventing pregnancy and diseases. The best way is what? Abstinence. So if you decide not to abstain, you have to pay a certain price. We would understand if there's some tax on condoms, but we fail to understand, we refuse to understand why we must tax sanitary pads. Haven't you read that in the news? Young girls getting impregnated because some useless old man in a village is buying them sanitary pads. Young girls using just anything during their menstrual periods. Some catch diseases. Some are embarrassed when it spills over in class and they cannot bear the shame to return to class. What GOMASHIE said is nothing but the truth. And I'm so ashamed of my country. A country that is taxing sanitary pads. Now, the only way or the only reason we can tax a sanitary pad is when we have enough sanitary pads in our land and other sanitary pads are coming from outside. In order to protect the local industry, we can start slapping taxes on the new ones that are coming into our country from foreign. Does it make sense? But this subject is deeper than just taxing sanitary pads. Are you aware that sanitary pads are now being used as a certain kind of drug? Did you know that? Sanitary pads, drug addicts, cocaine addicts, heroin addicts. A lot of drug addicts are now turning to sanitary pad. Some say they open it and smell it and it gives them the high. Some others say they burn it and then they just inhale the smoke and it makes them go high. Some also say they soak it in water and then they drink it and it puts them in the mood. My brother, when necessities now have such competing demands, this economics, when necessities begin to have competitive demands, they cease to be necessities. Unfortunately, it's like palm oil. I come from the Volta region. I love palm oil, which I can eat with my gobe. All of a sudden, there's a soap company that comes into the area. and is using palm oil to make soap. So we now have two competitive demands. Number one, as food, and two, for production industrially, soap. Of course, all other things remaining equal, ceteris paribus, the demand for making soap is going to be higher. And therefore, palm oil producers are going to shift that to the industry, raise the price to the point that people who need palm oil as food may not be able to buy that anymore. They have to find another alternative. I don't know how many people are following this lecture. In that case, people have to push away palm oil and start looking at palm kernel oil, or maybe coconut oil, or some other such oil that doesn't have such a huge competitive demand. If sanitary pads are now becoming drugs, we all can remember how cough mixture all of a sudden ran out in our pharmacies because some people were drinking it. They said it contained what I don't even want to mention. I have a cough. I need a cough mixture. Somebody is using it for his high. For that matter, prices increase. So demand for cough mixture for coughs will now be competing with demand for cough mixture as a drug for high. Prices what? Boof. Because you have a cough maybe once every year. But the guy who needs his high, he needs it every hour. So he's going. Prices are increasing. So there's a danger. If we are not careful, sanitary pads will never ever have the price come down. Tax or no tax. And if the prices don't come down, a lot of our underprivileged young ladies are going to find alternatives that may be hazardous to their health. Again, if the demand for sanitary pads for high goes so high, we are going to be destroying the youth who are gravitating towards that. More drug addicts would be on the road. So this is food for thought. GOMASHIE has said nothing but the truth, but the implication is deeper. People are using sanitary pads for high. Some people never give up on their drug use. We used to think that petition was enough. Some were smoking. We thought the smoke would end there. They started injecting. We thought it would end there. Oh, swallowing. We thought it would end there. They said they have something they call Thai. There's something called rock. Shisha is all over the place. Everybody is smoking. They even have balloon. They pump into their mouths and they speak like cartoon characters. Why? What is wrong with you? Why wouldn't a human being want to be natural? It's lack of confidence that makes people go after drugs to the point that you can make a drug out of everything. Now we all are endangered. We don't know who is going to make drugs out of cassava. And the price of fufu will rise. The price of agbele kakro will rise. We don't know who can even make drugs out of dreadlocks. Before I realize, all of us have become Sakura. They are looking for dreadlocks people to cut off their locks and use that to make drugs. Don't take it for a joke. In East Africa, some stupid people believe that if you catch an albino and kill the albino and remove his private parts, it will help you make money. And albinos started getting lost. In Kenya, in Uganda, and all those places. Some believe that if you catch an albino and shave off his hair, you can use that to catch fish, bumper harvest of fish. And all albinos in the area were walking around Sakura. People were now paying in advance. Let your hair grow and I'll pay you for this so I can get your hair to catch fish. This is a very dangerous thing, my brother. Let's be very careful or else we are doomed. DZIFA, I love you. I visited you a couple of times in your office. We had a very nice time, a very respectful woman. I really love this woman. There was a time she would call me and say, Blakk Rasta, can you help me with this? I want to do this. I want to do this. What do you think? I mean, for people to trust you to the point that they can believe that you can help edge on their career. In fact, it's something that you have to respect. Sanitary pads are necessities, but some people are turning them into drugs. How can we come together at the bargaining table, the reasoning table, and strike a balance and deal with this? Kai, come here! Think say you did wise. Next story. Hey. So Koku Anyidoho says, Blakk Rasta, I thank you for what you said. I am not bitter. I am only passionate. GOMASHIE says what? Sanitary pads, do not tax them. But there's a competition. How do we deal with the competition? When we return, we have another story that will break the box. I need you to watch out for that. In the interim, share this broadcast, hit on the like button, send your comments. We are going to read your comments. I have a very powerful quote for you today, and it's about sanitary pads. When we return, that fire story is coming up, and it will be our next story. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot, Koku show them.
This is the Black Pot, aka Koku Show, where we speak truth to power. Did you see that quote? Did you see the quote? You can send women to the sky. You can send them to heaven. You can send them to Mars. You can send them to Jupiter. But first, provide sanitary pads. What does that tell you? Any plan you have for a woman is useless until you provide them with the most necessary ones. Sanitary pads. You can send women to the moon or Mars later. First, provide sanitary pads to them. Au Nachalam Naru Ganatan. That's an Indian. Is it not deep? Is it not deep? Think about it. Necessity is the mother of invention. What shall we invent? This is the Black Pot, aka Koku Show. Next story. And this story is crazy. I demand, not beg. And this is Akufo-Addo. He's saying he doesn't beg. He demands. Give me money. He doesn't say, I'm begging you, please give me money. He demands. This is what Nana Akufo-Addo is saying. Is he speaking the truth? In what context is he saying this? Run the story, my youth. And this is from my own treenews.com. It says, call for reparations, not a plea for arms. Did you hear that? Call for reparations, not a plea for arms. And this is Akufo-Addo speaking. Run the story. Hey. President Akufo-Addo says the call by Africans and Africans in the diaspora for the payment of reparations by European nations who carried out the transatlantic slave trade some 400 years ago is not a plea for arms, but a demand for justice. The president demanded that reparatory justice must go hand in hand with restitution, adding it should be executed through the return of all cultural properties of African nations that were illegitimately taken from Africa and transported to European countries. Akufo-Addo made these comments at the maiden edition of the Accra Reparations Conference 2023 on Tuesday, November 14, 2024. That's yesterday. It's true. Reparations are supposed to be demanded. We are not begging. That you took a lot of our indigents across the oceans, subjected them to inhumane treatment, beat them up, killed some of them. A lot of them never saw their families again. On the other side, the argument is that they paid some chiefs who wholeheartedly gave them slaves to go out there and mutilate. My brother, my sister, we all know the story of slavery. We all know how our indigents went down the drain, all because of this heinous crime. Now the point is this. We were sitting in our land. We didn't invite you. We didn't come to you. Then you came over to us and posed and mooted the idea of carrying human beings on cargo ships and turning them into slaves. You are a criminal. You are a dirty-minded person. When we were here, we never even knew that you existed. Through your explorations and espionage, you came over to us and took us away. When you became so happy about this heinous crime, you even came on your own, waged wars, and carried prisoners of war away. We didn't come to your land to wage war on you. You came to us. Again, because of your dirty slave trade, Africa became a bloodbath area. Everywhere we went, there was blood. We didn't come to Europe. Did you see Africans go to America to enslave any American? Did you see black people go to England to enslave or ask their chiefs or kings or whatever to be engaged in anything like that? So the story of reparation is nothing but solid. A lot of the inventions that are helping humanity today were made by Africans and stolen by their so-called slave masters. We can mention 1,000 of them at a go. In those days, the slave had no right. In those days, anything the slave invented was credited to his master. And therefore, we had all the inventions in the names of white people, as if black people were dumb. Yet, we had the hopes of learning in Africa. My brother, my sister, what Nana Akufo-Addo is saying is nothing but the absolute truth. Reparation should not be the question. The question should be how much. But there are some people we cannot trust to even lead the conversation of reparation. So reparation is just payment for slavery by white people. Now, black people are even fighting amongst themselves. When reparation is paid, who should it go to? Black people on the continent or black people in the diaspora? But we shouldn't fight amongst ourselves. I think that whatever is paid us should go to black people, home and abroad. And if I were you, I will carry everything to Africa. There are some black people in the diaspora who say they don't want the reparations to even come to Africa because Africans sold them. In that case, Africa is complicit in the story of slavery. And Africa should not be seen to be benefiting from reparations. So you see, it's a very complex issue. I was in Guyana at the time that they were debating this very seriously. Guyanese also want the reparation because they're blacks. So should the money paid for slavery go to black people in the diaspora? Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Beyonce, or it should come to Africans on the continent, PLO Lumumba, Blakk Rasta, hey, and the rest of us? Or should we all be combined? But those in the diaspora are saying Africans should not get it. Some of them. Because Africa was complicit in the slave trade. So you see, we shall fight amongst ourselves, and the idiots will come back and take the gold and go away. So what Nana Akufo-Addo is saying is true. But there are some people who should not even be allowed to talk about reparation. And one such person is Nana Akufo-Addo. The white man came and took us away, but he still left us with our gold. Huge chunk of gold. What have you done with the gold? Stealing. You are not qualified to talk about reparations. White people sit back and laugh at us when we are asking for reparations. You know why? Because we still have the gold and diamond. We have the oil. We have the bauxite. We have the lithium. At the time that slave trade was on, there was no discovery for anything called lithium. We didn't know that there was anything like that here. Nobody mined lithium here. Today we have lithium. What new can we do with all this? We are misbehaving, stealing from ourselves. They can bring all the reparation money, my brother, to Africa. Our greedy leaders will blow that away. You know the interesting thing? Nana Akufo-Addo said again in that write-up that they should return all the cultural artifacts that they stole from us. Should I tell you something interesting? They returned some of those to Nigeria, and then they started getting missing in the Nigerian museums, one after the other. Congratulations, Nigeria. Hey! If we happen to have those coming to us here in Ghana, in our museums, the same thing is going to happen. Some dirty criminal politician getting to know the price of what artifact it is will just make sure that there's a fire outbreak around the area, and the next moment the artifact is gone. It happens to our banks. When they steal so much money, they set the bank on fire, and then they come and lie to us that electrical fault and blah, blah, blah. We've heard that time and again. Crooks and thieves. Satan will sodomize all of them in hell. That is a must. Why can't we be truthful to Africa? Look how our ancestors suffered to bring us here, and all you can do is to rob them of their peaceful rest. Come here, my youth. It's the Black Pot, a.k.a. Koku, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we shall read your messages. In the interim,
Koku shoulder, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Koku Showdown, and here we speak truth to power. Let's see your comments coming in. Remember to keep your comments coming in. And this one is coming from Petrina O2. She says, greetings to the Kuchoko legend Blakk Rasta. Love and respect. I love you, Petrina O2. Sweet Papito says, I have a question. I don't know about other countries, but I want to ask if a crime to put on a military color, especially the cap, the shorts, and even just the vest, or even just the vest, and the punishment. Well, he's asking about military attire. Well, I know about Ghana that you're not supposed to wear that, and so many other African countries. You see, it's a uniform for a specialized outfit. And the people who wear the uniform are supposed to carry on a special duty. The purpose of the uniform is supposed to differentiate them from you, who is not part of them. So if you go and wear their uniform, it means that you are impersonating them. It's wrong. In almost every country it is so. If you want to wear that uniform, you have to take permission. Specify why you want to use it, maybe for a performance or a movie, you know, then you can be given that permission for some time. Sweet Papito says, what our soldiers do to victims is so barbaric. I wish you could say more. What exactly do they do? Bobo Man says, preach on Rasta. And then Benzino says, Blakk Rasta, the youth leader. Blessed love. Incredible Galaxy One says, Blakk Rasta. All right. Wanini Boy says, I am here. I thought you were not coming today, but I am here. Share the broadcast. Thank you. Come here. Next story. Mahmoud Demba says, greetings, Black. I am in, he says, I am in what? In tights. Okay. Ghana is the only country that our so-called leaders do not think before they decide. Well, I'm telling you, it's not the only country. There are so many countries in Africa. The leaders behave like they don't have any sense. They make us look so stupid. Every time we travel outside this country, people approach us with questions that make us feel like subhumans. It's sad. Is that all? Many more comments coming in. Come here. Come here. Abu Gribia says, Blakk Rasta, good evening. And Mohammed Sani FUSEINI says, we talk truth to power. That's true. Koku Anyidoho, brother Koku, how are you doing? It's all the way in Chicago. Oh yes, the sun doesn't shine on one man's house. So when you see something, say something. Peace and respect. And this is deep. When trouble is coming, it doesn't befall just one person. One man went to play with a monkey, a green monkey. He was warned that the monkey was being studied for something. He went and played with the monkey and caught a disease. He ended up erasing a whole nation with that one disease. So we must be each other's keeper. My brother, if you hide a thief, it doesn't mean you love the thief. It means that you don't love yourself and you don't love the nation. That's what it means. That's what it means. Brother Kweku, thank you so much for that one. Mark Romeo OFORI says, greetings, Professor Black. I am late for lectures, sir. Well, welcome. Blessed love. Zion Genesis didn't say hi today. Says, real talk. Blessed love. Luis Kobna Adumanku says, oh, Ghana. Ghana people can't even afford sanitary pass. And you still add tax. Whoa, God bless you, Black. Whoa. Well, that's what it is. Next worry. Next worry. Okay, so the next story says economy recovering. And this is Ken OFORI-ATTA saying. He says the economy is recovering. That's what he's saying. Run the story. That's him. This man tickles himself and he laughs. Economy is continuing to show strong signs of recovery. And this is the finance minister. Let's listen to him. Run it. The office of the finance minister has indicated that the economy is continuing to show strong signs of recovery. Ahead of the 2024 budget presentation, the office in a tweet said, grateful for the opportunity to account for our stewardship on behalf of President Akufo-Addo. That's it. That's it. That's the tweet. Are these guys not comedians? These guys are jokers. Sometimes I pray that we will return to the days of Jerry John Rawlings so that these people would have haircuts. Sometimes I pray that these people, my brother, my sister, suffer it. They are terrible people. Look at him. Puffy face. This man is so sick. Yet he's not ready to make way for somebody more competent and healthier to take over. He told us he's sick. He has kidney issues. He's taking drugs. His face all of a sudden has become puffy. You know, we appreciate it if you want to serve your motherland. But when your own motherland says you are not competent, go. And you continue to stay in there and make mockery of us. He says the economy is recovering. Recovering from what? Death. When a man dies, how does he recover? The economy is dead. How are you going to resurrect it? Are you Jesus? It's sad. My brother, look at the exchange rate. Ghana cedi to dollar. Right now is going up to, some people say 15 Ghana cedis to $1. What I know is that it's beyond 12 Ghana cedis. But I don't deal with dollar like that. But those who deal with it, they say it's between 12 cedis and 15 Ghana cedis to $1. When you inherited the economy, was it like that? Bad as it was at the time. And finance minister says we are recovering. Ghanaians are running out of the nation. The other day I was speaking with an ambassador. I don't want to mention which ambassador. And he told me, the Blakk Rasta, what can you do to help all these people who are running out of your country? Can you do something to keep them in here? Because there's nothing out there. They are a nuisance there. And they will end up being sick and even dead. It's better they stay here. So I am embarking on a patriotism tour. Look, if I ever have the opportunity to serve any president of this nation, you know what I'm going to do? If anybody invites me and says, Blakk Rasta, be a minister, I say, no, keep it. I don't need it. I don't need it. If you ever hear that Blakk Rasta has accepted a post to become a minister under any government, Kai, then I've gone mad. I don't need it. If you ever hear me come to tell you, vote for me, I have gone mad. I don't need it. I could have easily won any election in Ghana because of you, because you trust me. I won't let your trust down. You know what I will do instead? I don't need any post to be able to work. If Gabi Asari Ochiridaku is sitting there without any portfolio, yet he controls the whole nation, why do I need a post? The first thing I will do is to bring back Nkrumah's farms, state farms. Number 2, all the silos. Is this silos? Silos. S-I-L-O-S. Silos. So that the harvest can be put in there. And that's for agriculture. The youth will be employed in agriculture. We are going to agriculturize the nation. We will find a way of planting apples in Ghana. If they can plant cocoa in China, I will find a way of planting apples in Ghana. You think we are joking? Write it down. If China can find a way to plant cocoa in Beijing, we must find a way of planting apples in Accra. We are not dumb. If I ever get that opportunity, it's not about me, sir. The agric farms, all Nkrumah's farms, state farms, will be brought back. Every region would have a state farm. And youth will be employed there. Students from the agric schools will be encouraged to come and work there, to feed themselves and to feed the whole nation. I'm telling you something seriously. That's one of the things. Another thing I would love to do is to have the media cut across the whole nation, radio, TV, whatever, all over the nation. And it's going to be preaching Pan-Africanism and civics, patriotism. If I can speak like this and the whole Ghana can hear me, Wyatt. And we are talking about patriotism. We are talking about how you can support your nation. The youth is all about the youth. If you get it right with the youth, you have no problem. It's not about me. It's not about a Range Rover for me to drive or V8. It's not about a private jet for... I don't need that. I don't need it, brethren. That's what we're talking about, brethren. So if you guys are in power and all you are doing is family and friends, all you are doing is to run to the IMF and beg for money left, right, and center, it hurts. It hurts terribly. Dash it. Next story. Next story. We are about to wind up. BAWUMIA is Akufo-Addo puppet. And this is FUSEINI talking. Who is FUSEINI? That's him. He was a minister of land and mines and blah, blah, blah in the days of John Dramani Mahama. He's a man everybody knows. He's a lawyer by profession and also a politician. He comes from the northern region of Ghana. He was an MP there as well. And then he decided that he will not run as an MP again. He's a man I've met several times. In fact, he's even helped pay my school fees before. In fact, I remember when I was doing my master's several years ago. In fact, he just called me and said, "Oh, congratulations. I heard you had several years back." And he paid this man. So I know him quite well, even though we don't meet, we don't talk. But this is what he's saying. Come here. I said, come here. What is FUSEINI talking about? What is he talking about? Run the story. BAWUMIA will be a ceremonial president with Nana Addo as the dictator. It's true. We all have seen dumb, inefficient BAWUMIA tell us that. We have heard him tell us. We saw him standing before us telling us this. That he was only a vice president for Nana Akufo-Addo. Yesterday we carried this story. He was just there to help Nana Akufo-Addo. And we asked you, so if a man says, come and help me do something, and then you realize that he's going to commit murder, are you still going to follow him and support him to commit murder? Use your sense. But BAWUMIA doesn't have it. His is that whatever Akufo-Addo says I should do, I'll do it. Commit murder, he goes, yo, Jarajo, go and kill Joro, Jarajo, go and shoot Joro, Jarajo, go and punch Joro, Jarajo, go and dance Joro, Jarajo. Attention, hey! BAWUMIA is Joro, Jarajo. My brother, that's what he said. I am only a vice president. I am here to help the president. So if the president is moving in the wrong direction, because you are a stooge, because you are a puppet, you will continue following him, right? That is what INUSAH is saying. But let me not take the wind out of the sail of the man. Run it. Let's see what he says. He says, former National Democratic Congress NDC lawmaker INUSAH FUSEINI believes the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will linger on if Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA is elected as president in 2024. He claimed President Akufo-Addo is obsessed with the presidency and will do everything possible to interfere with BAWUMIA's government. Remember, President Akufo-Addo, introduced BAWUMIA into politics and the NPP so he can have his way. The former Tamale Central MP said. Mr. FUSEINI further claimed in an interview with NIT FM's morning show, Ghana Muntie, that the president was very keen to see BAWUMIA become his successor during their flag bearership context. That's it. We all know that, right? BAWUMIA is not a man. BAWUMIA is Nana Akufo-Addo's wife. Write it down. BAWUMIA is not a man. He is Nana Akufo-Addo's wife. My brother, what kind of vice president is that says yes to everything the president says? He started appealing to us like a brilliant guy. All of a sudden, we realize that it's a puppet. You know what a puppet is? Koliko. When you move it, it goes here. Move it, goes there. Move it there. Even Bob Marley said, don't treat me like a puppet on a string. BAWUMIA is that puppet on the string. And the puppet master is Nana Akufo-Addo. Write that down too. BAWUMIA is a puppet on a string. Full stop. Akufo-Addo is his puppet master. I'm done. That's it. We have a last story, right? Now the last story we are looking at will take only about 5 minutes. I'm looking at the clock. And we are done. Okay? Watch it. Breaking the 8, misplaced. And this is SENYO HOSI. He was the one who went to the University of Ghana and told them that even though he attended the University of Ghana, he will not employ any of these guys there because they just go to school to learn book and not common sense of application. He said it. And I loved what he said. SENYO HOSI has spoken again. He's a very bold guy. Run it, my youth. Hey, what is he saying? 2024 budget. Stop thinking about breaking the 8 and take hard decisions now. This is SENYO HOSI talking. Run it. And he's an economic policy analyst. Business executive and economic policy analyst SENYO HOSI has insisted that the current economic hardship in the country makes it imperative for the government, the governing New Patriotic Party, to stop thinking and talking about breaking the 8. Instead, he said, the MPP should focus on salvaging the ailing economy and on putting it back on a growth path, even if policies to this end lead to electoral defeat. Hallelujah. This is a wise man. God bless you, my brother. That's it. Bring his photo there. SENYO HOSI was bold enough to go to the University of Ghana and tell them, listen, even though I attended school here, none of you will ever be employed by me because you don't have practical knowledge. All you have is book knowledge, chew and pour. And I play it on my radio show every now and then. That's boldness. He says, you have no practical knowledge. You go to school and you don't engage in critical thinking. You only learn how to memorize and parrot back what you memorize. Today he's telling us, don't think about breaking the 8. Please think about how you can put the economy on a growth path, even if the policies will lead you into losing power. But, Senyo, you know that these people will never heed to this. No politician in our country today will do anything that will make him lose elections, even if that will help Ghanaians. Hey, did you just hear what I said? Did you hear that? I said, no politician in Ghana today will do anything that will make him lose elections, even if that would help Ghana grow unprecedentedly. Si ade mi ba be cry no, ebe boa Ghana ama Ghana ekọ nim kra na. Se miye na o man to aba ama me a ende me nye. Se ade we a mi ba be miye na Ghana for be to aba ama me nko ade a se embo obu kra no a meye. So the priority is on winning elections. Hey, call BAWUMIA and give him 2 buttons. Tell him that the blue one here says, when you press it, Ghana is going to move forward to the end of the world. It will become enviable, but you are going to lose the next election. The red one here, when you push it, it will make Ghana go back 100 years back. But it will help you win the next election. He will press the red one, stamp on it, gitty, 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 so that Ghana will go back and he will win the election. It takes people with a heart that beats for Ghana to press the blue button. Like Mahama told them the other day, let us do the thing. Let's even lose the elections. Ghanaians one day will remember the good work we did. That's what Mahama told them. As to whether he meant it or not, it came to pass. They kicked him out. But today, nurses are kneeling down and begging Mahama and saying, forgive us. SENYO HOSI, I applaud you. I hope one of these days we'll be able to meet so that I can anoint your bald head with anointing oil. I love you. Dash it. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta, and let's take our final messages, and we are done for the day. Run it. Okay, so Hail Marcus says, peace and blessings to you, my king, Blakk Rasta. It's been quite a while now for the time zone in Colorado has backshifted an hour late. Therefore, I hardly catch up with your live shows. Oh, I do understand. Hail Marcus, love and respect. I'm glad that you're able to make it today. And try and make it sometimes. Mohammed Mubarak says, thank God we have you, Blakk Rasta. Hail Marcus says, please, King Blakk, I want to talk to you. I will. All right, so check. Our numbers are running on the screens. Do send me a message on it, a WhatsApp message. The numbers are coming up. Send me a WhatsApp message. I'm going to call you back on that. No problem at all. All right, so Pagan African says, greetings and salutations to my brother Blakk Rasta and all, the wonderful people here. Blessings, love and respect. And then Royal Anchor TV says, can the NDC bring him back to his fold? They should smoke the peace pipe and forge. I'm sure he's talking about Koku Anyidoho. Yes. And then Kojo One Fool says, education, education, education. More strength and power, love and guidance. God's way. Jata says, what's the time you start your program now? Is it 5 p.m. or 5:30? Blakk Rasta is 5 p.m. But sometimes, because of dumso, we are unable to start it. It's not really our fault. Other times too, some other such reasons, but it's 5 o'clock. We always try to start at 5. Maybe when we move to our offices and we have a plant, then we will not have any excuse for electricity. Thank you so much. What the Adam says, Blakk Rasta, Thanks for the motivational message about agriculture. You are indeed an ocean of knowledge. Guess what? Morocco, that is the desert, plants grapes and apples. I saw it with my naked eyes. Wade Adams is talking. I'm going to do it if I have an opportunity. If anybody says, Blakk Rasta, what can I do for you? I said, me? Do it for the youth. This is what I want. I appreciate you and I thank you. Thanks so much. And we apologize for starting the show late again. Today, as I said, it was due to issues beyond our control. I'll catch you again tomorrow at 5 p.m. sharp. And we'll talk some more. Hey! Wayo!